Cool. Welcome all. Today is 14th July 2023, and we are in Cluster API provider for IBM Cloud meeting. Yeah, so just let's discuss on some of those. Some of the items we regularly discuss, and also added CI to this agenda to ensure we also look at the CI past runs of E2E tests on the supported platforms. Right? All right. So, any other topics anyone wants to discuss before we get started?
No, Manju, I think we are good to start.
That bare metal also we want to discuss, right?
Yes. I think it's
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the issues, so we'll come up.
Yeah. Sure. While discussing backlogs, we can discuss that as well. Okay, no problem. Uh, let's get started. 30th, right? Last. So looking at the stuff what we delivered, at 30th, we just fixed some banner for the page. So we just made it white background. So what really that means is that even with a dark background, a dark theme, you'll see the white background for this logo, right? Especially like this will be useful, like, earlier it was to be like completely dark, so it was had a hard time, um, at least the IBM Cloud logo was almost like, um, yeah, we're not able to see that logo, so now we can see with this background. Cool. Thanks, Prajit, for that fix. And you did cherry pick to all the branches as well, right?
Yes, Manju, yeah.
Yeah,
2,
cool.
0.5, 4, and 3 I did.
Yeah.
1 and 2 were giving me issues, so I.
Yeah, one and two, I don't think we really have docs at that point of time. So
Okay.
yeah, so one and two. So the docs itself is not here, right? Whatever. Yeah, Netify is there, but not sure. Yeah, it was working fine or not. But I think it should be fine. Like, we don't really use anything with 0.2 or 1. Nobody's using it then anyways.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, n minus 2 should be fine. N minus 2 or 3 should be fine. So we shouldn't. Yeah, let's not even worry about 1 and 2, dot 1 and dot 2 maintaining that anyway. Yeah, another topic we want to discuss is how do we maintain the older releases also, right? Um, let's add that topic as well. Older. Okay. Um, that we will discuss. Like, okay, so the next item we delivered is the like again information for the supported IS. So you want to quickly talk about this, Rajat?
sure, Manju. So in our last community call, Karthik had mentioned, right, that we should be clear on what areas, what infra actually we support from the IBM Cloud itself. So in this diagram, we are just making it clear that we are supporting the IBM VPC and the VSI instance part of it. So we are actually creating the virtual server instance. There is an also option to create a bare metals, which we uh, came across while discussing that other issue, right, which will come to at a later point. So yeah, so this diagram basically makes it clear that we support virtual server instances for now in the IBM VPC part of it and IBM Power. So these are the only two kind of infra that we support right now. And once we support any future infras which are being I would say which are being supported by IBM Cloud or offered by IBM Cloud, we'll add it to the diagram and I'll update it.
Cool. Thank you. And again, is this cherry picked to other older releases as well?
No, Manju, no, this was not cherry picked. So
Yeah.
I'm so there is that issue created for certificates to be fixed, right? So
Okay.
I'm waiting for that to be fixed. Once we have certificates fixed and all the documentation kind of ready, we can just cherry pick this then later. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Just to be noted. Maybe in that case, I'll just reopen this. Reopen for the older releases. Maybe we can have something like milestone, maybe 5 or something. All right, cool, thank you. And yeah, apart from that, we just updated cluster API and Golang and then Kubernetes and that whatnot, the entire stack for you know stuff for especially like we just updated with beta version what we released earlier, and then of course we updated to the RC. We'll talk about that in some time. Did update Tomo? Okay, this is for that. Okay, cool. And then Prajot did push the latest images of Kubernetes on .27 for both VS and then VPC. Right, good. And then use 27 for the tests. Right, so I think okay, so, but we did create these images in VPC and all that, right, Prajot?
Yes, Manju, I
Okay.
imported that image into
Okay.
test zones wherever required. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I think we'll have to have some sort of a documentation even for that, like how do we manage our infrastructure or write maybe some scripts for doing some of this import operation and all the supported stuff, right? Then I'm not sure how to do that, but I think we'll have to do that. Otherwise, it is going to be like manual and that going there and then pushing all these images manually, right?
Yes, and Manju, one more also question I had, right? Where should we host this data, right? Related to where the testing is being performed, which zones it is being performed. So I
Yeah.
know, like,
Okay. I'm just wondering whether we can we can push it in the same repository itself. But I mean, anyway, we thought API key hardly anyone can access those things, right? So I'm
yes.
just wondering we can just maybe push the same content to this repository itself so that it will be all in one place.
Okay, okay.
Somewhere in the hack folder, right?
Okay, got it.
So, all right. Thank you. Maybe, yeah, I think maybe we can create some task or something for that. So just to keep, um, maybe just let's remove this kind itself. Documents the environment. Yeah, I think this should be fine. And we can enhance it later anyway to add some scripts or anything like that required, right? All right. That's about this task, and then yeah, about this task as well. And after that, we did update to RC0 recently, right? With any idea when the release pending this month and sometime, right?
Yeah, 25th of July, I guess.
I think there's some task also they have created now.
Yeah, it is on 25th of July.
Oh, okay, cool. Around next 10 days. Okay, cool. But any further RCs?
I don't think so, Manju. So because code freeze has already been done, so it's just matter of releasing the
Okay,
actual
okay,
type.
cool. Good. So yeah, post that we'll think about releasing our branch as well, as in release IBMCloud release as well. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, that's about the changes we pushed. So any other comments we have with respect to changes so far in last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Manju, I just have one question. So, Cluster API, the latest version, it's not supporting like it will not have support for V1 Alpha 3, and if I remember correctly, so do we want to remove that from the test metadata.yaml? It's in the test.
Oh, it's in test. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So did we remove from here? Yeah, I mean, if you have removed from here, right? I think we can
Yeah.
remove from there as well. Yes.
Okay.
Should.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Just create an issue so that you just don't forget.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Release. I think we haven't released anything, but we will release once we sort of update the latest CAPI. We will release, and then yeah, alpha is also not released anyways. I think I'm not sure. Should we release alpha? Like, what do you guys say? Like, should we release alphas or RC? Or directly we release 0.6.0 itself, like.
Manju, I think we can take a look at how CI is performing and maybe take a call on that later.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, now just the question is like, should we consider releasing RCs before releasing the main release? Is the question. So like, I mean, I know that previously I used to do like alpha 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, and then like I used to release the final release. And maybe we can consider releasing RCs before releasing the main release, right? So that will at least give us a window that can just um, use cluster CTL for installing that released version. Of course, it is going to be like pre-release. Just the end user testing we can perform with that. Yeah, we can consider exploring releasing the RC bits and all that.
Yeah, Manju, I think
Right.
RC should be fine, I guess. One
Yeah.
RC.
Yep. Cool. And then backlog. We'll go to backlog. Let's see. Let's see what all tasks we have with no milestones. Okay, so document the release. Okay, so this can go to next. So let's not really worry about 0.6 release. It has been released and it is released for testing. So this must be 0.6, right? Because we are already doing that.
Yeah, yes, man.
I think I see some feedback given there by Amulya as well. Yeah, so I think anything else we will do part of this. This just says beta 0, right? Can we close this task, Amulya? Or Prajot, do you expect anything else from this task?
No, Manju, I think it was just about testing the beta version, right? When it was released.
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, we
Okay.
can close this because we have already moved to the RC right now.
Yeah. So is this the task, standard task they created for all the providers or what?
Yes.
Okay.
They have created this for all the providers. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. In that case, maybe Amulya can have some comment and then close it. Closing
Yeah,
comment and then. Okay.
yeah, sure, Manju.
Cool. Thank you. Next comes, okay. Next, let's look at what all things we are pending for 0.6, right? Yeah, this one we already discussed. Yeah, this handle add finalizer is just, okay, I just looking at that code. What I felt is that this whole check is not really required. This add finalizer itself will do this internally. So that's what and so I'll just have that modification required. Yeah, so I'll take a look on this. I'm good. I know what needs to be done. It shouldn't be a big issue. Okay. Enhance the doc.
I'm yet to like break this task down, Manju. I'll take it up as a priority and do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's work on the breaking part as in this
Yeah.
release, and then
Yeah.
we'll address the documentation in detail in the next release, maybe.
Yeah, sure, Manju.
Cool. Thank you. Can it be done in next 10 days, only by any chance?
Yeah, and by next week, definitely.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, this is almost done, and then we are just waiting for the certificates part. So anything else we need to do, Rajat, on this?
No, Manju, we don't need to do anything. So it's being discussed on that pending PR issue. So they are just pinging for one community member is pinging, asking another community member how to fix that certificate things. So yeah, I think it's ball is in their court to get that certificate, and from our end, everything is in place. The URLs are ready and everything is there. Just updating the certificate should take care of that minor issue of insecure certificate that we are getting right now. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. And any update on this?
No, Manju, can we maybe consider this as a part of the next milestone? Uh,
Okay.
it might just need some exploration and
It's fine. Should be fine. Yeah, just put to next release. And add scale from 0 to the scale as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Manju. So I checked with both of them, Ketan and Shilpari. Previously, they have done half work on this, and then they jumped on something else. Maybe in the next week, if they're busy, maybe I will take it up and finish both the tasks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I see Kishan also joining the call. Just
Yeah.
Kishan. So I'm just wondering if, yeah, this one task is sort of pending and then nobody's kind of taking up. So are you interested in taking this up, Kishan? Kishan, if you're speaking on mute. Okay, I see thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, so maybe we can see if you can talk to Kishan on this task. Yeah,
Sure, Manju. I will coordinate with them and I will try to
cool.
get this done.
Thank you. Yeah.
yes.
so-
Yeah, for this Manju, there is some code, but I just parked it for a while. I think by next week I'll be able to finish this up as well.
Okay, cool. Makes sense. Thank you. And that's about the task what we planned for this 0.6. And we'll look at next. Yeah, cluster class is pending. I don't see anyone interested in, like, the person is again disappeared. And also I'm just wondering if someone else also can pick up on this. Yeah, so I'm not sure. This is not really working fine. Okay.
Yeah, sure, Manju. I will take care of this.
Yeah, let's talk to different folks in the
Yeah,
team. So if someone interested, so we can ask them to contribute here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think, yeah.
This is the one we already discussed. This one we already discussed. No.
That one is the
Oh, that is the one about the bare metal stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the next action item is like what? Prajit, do you want to maybe quickly give a context for others also?
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now what we have is we create a Kubernetes cluster in the VPC environment, right? And when we do that, we basically create those virtual server instances there, and we create cluster on top of that. So there is something called as bare metal servers also as a part of the VPC itself. So we can create, so instead of creating normal VSIs, which we do as a part of our cluster creation process while supporting IBM VPC right now, we can also have a cluster in the IBM VPC by using bare metals as a server. So basically it means instead of doing those creation calls to the virtual VSI APIs, we'll have to redirect the API calls to the bare metal. So basically it is just a change of infra. Instead of using virtual server instances, we are going to use bare metal infra to create the Kubernetes cluster. And this is kind of like a separate thing, right? So we already support VSIs in IBM VPC. Now this request basically, this issue basically is asking us whether we can support creating the same thing, doing the same thing on the bare metals also. So yeah, so the idea is to do the same thing, the same process, but the server should be the bare metal infras in the IBM VPC. Okay, so that is the context, Manju. And do you want me to add to where we are right now? And
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I think this is good enough. I mean, Yeah, I mean, you can mention the progress maybe in the next call or maybe next time. I think we just got started, right? So I think we
Yes,
just
yes, yeah.
exploring the infrastructure and then whatnot. So, but I just have a couple of questions. So I'm just wondering how different or the how part as in the AP of course is a different thing for bare metal, but apart from is the flow pretty consistent with respect to VPC versus bare metal, or you see a lot of changes as in the image or any of the parameters and then whatnot?
Okay, Manju. So based on, so I tried creating bare metal when I got the access. I tried creating a standalone bare metal, and at least with the normal standard images which they have, which was working like normal deployment worked fine standalone. So at least from my initial assessment, I don't see any specific or changes that we need to do at the rest of the code, right? Like I think the VPC creation, the subnet creation, and all those things will remain the same. The only thing that will need tweak is I think we'll basically need to add a check, and basically that will means we basically have to add some kind of field, right? What kind of servers
Mhm.
that we're trying to create, whether it is VSI or bare metal. So based on that, we add a check in the controller, and if it is bare metal, then basically to instead of creating VSIs, just create bare metals with that curl call or with that request, right? So that is what I foresee as of now. I'm actually supposed to try that today and see how that goes. And so I'm supposed to also ask the person in the evening to get our image imported into his account. So today I'm just planning to try out creating a single VM via the Capi code using the standard image for now. And if that works fine without any much code changes, then I'll ask him to just import the image and try out the actual Capi creates cluster creation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I completely agree that we should maybe you can explore adding a flag, an additional flag to spec maybe.
Yes, Manju.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if there's not a lot of changes, right? Because I don't want to kind of introduce another API here, which will sort of burden for everyone. So
Yes, Manju. And
yeah,
also,
yeah.
I know he has commented a lot of stuff on that renaming part, right? But I
Uh-huh.
think what we have is we can stick to the same because it basically it means the IBM VPC is the environment, right? It's just two
Yes,
different
yes,
kinds of servers it supports. So one
yes.
field should take care of with the same
Yeah,
approach, I think.
yep, yep. That makes sense. I think let's yeah, we can feed this issue with more information with all that. And also, he expressed some concern over the private thread about the naming convention of the files also. So I just replied to that comment as well. So I think we're good. So let's explore and then see how it goes. The only thing is like I was um, little confused there is that he just creates some of those machines,
Yes, Manju.
features
So
or whatever, and then reuse and all that. I don't know that
yeah,
we
so
can
I
really do that. Yeah.
yeah, I think his understanding was way different from what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
actually trying to explain it. But I think he's on the right page now after I had to give him those explain him the stuff on that conversation, right? So
Okay.
told
Okay.
him what we do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, let's feed some more information with what we tried and all that once we have, the
Yes, yes,
clarity
Manju. Yes.
on the APIs and other stuff. Okay, cool.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's going to be interesting features we had, right? Nice. Um, I see this ad unit test for records.co, and then I
I
see
think
Yusuf is.
yeah, Yusuf is going to.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. This can be parked. Let's not really worry about that. Explore Calico. Yeah, so I think this also someone can take a look if yeah, this is not really yet started yet. So we need to see if someone else can take a look. And of course, this is a pending PR, but it's almost like not really sort of failing PR. Someone else can take a look as well. So yeah, we can just you know the PR is being created, but it's not in good shape. So someone can just take a look and then fix that. or just reuse that PR and then fix whatever the issues are there. If it is really a proper or some effort, like I mean, if it is a proper one, I mean.
Yeah, sure, Manju. I will take a look at that.
Okay, thank you. Ignition part, yeah, we need to explore this. I mean, I see recently that Fedora CoreOS is now up and like it's available for PPC, and also Fedora Core is available for x86 as well. So we can just have one flow because cluster API do support Ignition way of deploying clusters as well. We can explore and then see if it really works with like IBMCloud provider for both Power VS and then PPC. Yeah, add instrumentation. There are a few ideas we have. Yeah, I'll talk to Puneet on this. Um,
Yeah, Manju, he was showing some interest on this. He was
yeah,
inquiring with me regarding the in-CAPI IBM support for instrumentation.
yes. Yeah, while exploring OpenStack provider, we just got some learning and then whatnot. We can apply those learnings into this project as well.
Yeah.
Can be doable. We'll talk to him and then see. Okay, that's about next. We almost discussed everything, and then we discussed 0.5. Okay, so these are, yeah, so this is about, okay, yeah, that's about cherry picking the information, readme, and yeah, this is pending. We haven't updated the packages for 0.5x for quite some time, so we'll have to update everything. So we'll do that. Anyone interested doing this?
I can take that up, Manju. It's like we just have to update those packages, right? And
Yeah, everything,
yeah,
yes.
to
Yeah.
latest. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I can assign to you.
Everything as in cluster API.
Yeah,
the
let's do
latest
everything.
and
Let's do
okay.
everything. Like VPC, go.mod, let's
Mod.
see, and then Golang,
Okay.
Kubernetes version, cluster API.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything for that matter. Like here, maybe VPC client or Go SDK.
Okay.
I mean, like anything in go.mod.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then like I think we shouldn't have anything here. So maybe the best way, looking at milestone, maybe click on milestone. Okay, so nothing for. I think we are good. So we discussed all the issues in all the milestones. So anything else you want to discuss about the milestones part or issues part?
Uh, yeah, Manju. Actually, I was going to the CAPI repo and I see that currently they have added plugin support for the cluster CTL.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I think we can leverage to use we have CAPI IBM ADM CLI as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think we can leverage that with the cluster CTL. I have yet to explore on how it can be done or what's the plan, but that is one thing we can expect in the future.
Okay. So do you want to create a placeholder ticket for that?
Yeah, sure. Maybe I will just go through the features they are supported and I will create the necessary issues.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one. Okay. Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that. But what changes do we need? Just the just the renaming binary into whatever format, right? Apart
Yeah,
from that,
yeah.
anything else required?
Not sure, Manju. I had to check. But the expectation is that under the cluster CTL command, we can have this capability of running the CAPI IBM CLI as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But any advantages with that? Like I don't see any
yeah.
major advantage as such looking at that. It's just the cluster CTL.
Yes, that's it. That's the only change. Instead of you directly using the CAPI IBM ADM, you can use cluster CTL and IBM like that. So
Okay.
it's yeah.
Okay. Yeah, still need to explore if any sort of
Yes.
other advantage we might get from cluster CTL. But I'm not sure if it is going to be like just plugin way. So yeah, I think we can explore.
Yeah,
Can explore. Let's create an issue for that. Let's explore.
sure.
Cool. Thank you. Anything else?
Manju, one question I had was we have this ensure kind file, right? So I think it is referring to a very older version of kind, and there has been a lot of changes in since then. So maybe we should
Yep.
bump the minimum kind version to, yeah, because it will be in sync with the K8's versions that we are going also right ahead.
Yep. The kind version in ensure, right? Ensure kind.sh maybe. I hope this file name is same. Okay. Let's do that. I think we should consider looking at updating any of the missing parts, right? I think, right. As in, like, we need to just go around and then look at if any currency needs to be updated. Not sure. Maybe I think I'm just wondering, should we really create some sort of a wiki page or not wiki? So then an entry in the documentation itself under development section here, right? I think developer guide. I'm just wondering if you can maybe just have one page which talks about the currency stuff, right? Yeah, we can point all these like the pointers there in that page so that we don't miss it going forward. So that including like Calico update, the Golang update, and then whatnot, right? So that way we know that what needs to be done for every release.
Yes, Manju, I think that makes sense. We can basically, I think we can have it for each release separately, so we know what version of release is using what version and what we should update it to the previous version and the updated version or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll work on creating that, maybe a table format or something.
If I remember, this was added like for cluster API. I mean, there was a page we did add it, Manju, like marking versions for only cluster, I think modules and tool dependencies. Yeah.
Okay.
There is, yeah. I mean, maybe we can just enhance
Okay.
this or
Okay.
something.
Yeah,
I think it's just,
yeah, we can do that. Okay, so I'll just refer this. Yeah. Or enhance the. Okay. To cover all the currency updates, right?
yeah, in that page only version, I mean, mentioning the versions is missing, but yeah, others.
Yeah, I think let's enhance this in a way that, yeah, I mean, right now it's hardly any text or we don't have everything, right? I think let's have entire thing, right? So that'll be helpful. So this can even have the pointers to the image itself, image what we building for the CAPI, right? Even we can have that detail as well. Good. I'll just mention as next. Okay. All right. Anything else? Okay, we discussed backlogs. Yeah, bare metal also we discussed. And order releases also we discussed. This is mainly for updating patches and then whatnot. Keeping releases updated. So this becomes very important. So as we start, working on main branch, so the older releases always become kind of a stale with lot of, with lot of older packages and then whatnot. So which might end up end up creating the issues like the vulnerability issues and then whatnot, which may get introduced post this update, right? I mean, post the release, especially with the Kubernetes APIs and then whatnot. So you can see here we just have .1. That's it. So yeah, those things we should start updating. And of course, Golang, whatever .x version, and also the CAPI latest version of the released one. I mean, the patch release, right? So that we should consider doing it regularly for all the released versions or released patches, whatever. Okay, let's document that entire thing in that particular page, what we are talking about. Okay, and then bare metal we discuss. So the CI is the only pending item. So let's look at, but any questions meanwhile? Okay. All right, so if can I do this start? No, doesn't work. Okay, problem. Surprisingly, the CI is failing. I don't know why. So this is after 12, believe. Is this when the new image started using? Did we start using the new image post this or any test case? It's nothing is passing, right?
I
In
was
the latest build, the first test case passed and the second failed.
Okay.
in the
I
latest.
just checked the recent. Yeah.
Okay. But why this? This is like log will not be displayed. I don't know why this initializing the cluster, bootstrap cluster. I'm not sure why it is giving this error here.
Okay.
This is coming from cluster API test. Oh, somewhere from was never called. Logs will not be displayed. I don't know. Can you take a look? Maybe someone can take a look into this issue.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I can take. I think that's like a warning, and then post that it just moves ahead and then tries to run the test cases. But yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, so let me create an issue the way. Message while installing maybe. I'll just mention do this maybe. And we will mention this on here. Okay. Let's debug on that part and let's see how's the VPC doing. Oh, VPC is green.
This is like, yeah.
Okay, and then we reduced one build a day, right? I mean, that's
Yes,
good.
yes. Both are once a day.
Yeah, once in a day. I think this is pretty much, but I think maybe, I don't know why there are some flakiness in the retest runs, but yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, I think we did discuss on, yes, the CI part we covered. Yeah, I'm just done with all the topics what we want to discuss. Anything else, guys?
Nothing from me, Manju.
Cool.
Maybe we want to update the attending list and add Kishan's name.
Oh yeah. Cool. Thank you. Anything else, folks?
Nothing, Muncho. Think we are
Uh,
good.
yeah, all good.
Cool. In that case, I will close the call. Thanks, folks.
Thank
Have a nice day, and then we can do. So,
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
bye.